Hi everyone, my name is Nihareeka Ghadge and I welcome you on behalf of YLCC. We are here with a series of interviews of law students who made their own way to reach their destination, which you might be secretly willing to reach. Today we have with us Shrey Bhat from Institute of Law, Nirma University, Ahmedabad. Shrey is a third year student and is an active mooter. He recently won the Best Speaker Award at Surana Surana National Insolvency Law Moot Court Competition 2022. And therefore we have requested him to share his experience with you all today. So without a further ado, let us get started. So before I begin with the questions, how about you briefly introduce yourself to the audience?
Yeah, basically my introduction you fairly have covered, like what I'm supposed to tell with regards to my introduction. So basically, I'm in my third year at Institute of Law, Nirma University. I currently have participated and I've been an active mooter and a debater since my first year at law school. Before participating into the Surana and Surana Moot, I did Stetson International Moot Court Competition, and furthermore, I have participated in various debates that have been organized in my first and second year. Apart from my participation and apart from my interest in the other activities, I have an inclination towards subjects like public international law and constitutional law. And recently, I'm into exploring subjects like subjects pertaining to finance law, such as IBC, taxation, etc. After my law graduation, I wish to start my own practice, especially with regards to practicing at Delhi High Court, NCLT, etc. So yeah, this is pretty much about me as of now.
Right. All right. So how would you describe your law school journey till now, and what was the effect of COVID on it?
Law school has when I was in my class 10th, I decided that I'm not going to be that person who is going to pursue science as a career, and then I decided that law is something that I should go ahead with, and I decided to appear for CLAD examination. Law school, I mean, the first year was basically an online operated in an online setting, and to an extent, second year as well. The problem and till now, law school has been very enriching experience for me, because it was certainly a case that I wanted to be there in the law school, and it was not the case that someone else chose that you should pursue a career in law, right? So that is one. Second important aspect is that when I say law was a subject that I was really interested into, it has never been the case since throughout my 3 years that I regret the decision of taking law. And more so, it has been the case that I feel happy about it, that I'm not enrolled in a course wherein I'm certainly kind of depressed, or I'm not happy. I'm not enjoying the entire process as to what is happening over there. So law school till now has been a very good and enriching subject for me, and obviously it's my college, so it has been a good experience out there. Proceeding with the question pertaining to the difference that exists in online and offline thing. So basically, when it comes to online, to an extent, I really, I'm not hesitant to share that online does not work at all, because from last 1 year, I had been in Ahmedabad, and I'm enjoying my offline college. So offline is something what really college is all about, right? You get to meet people out there. You see people from various background culture coming out there, and you get to interact with them. Then you see that this is his personal approach to a particular thing, and this is how the person is, and how the person's personality is. So a real sort of a personality development and an actual personality development, in my understanding, it does not happen in an online setting behind the screen. It's just that there has to be an offline or a face-to-face communication out there. So this is how law school has been for me for around last 3 years.
Right. So coming on to the moot courts now. So amongst other moot court wins, you recently won the award for Best Speaker at the Surana and Surana National Insolvency Law Moot Court Competition 2022. So how would you like to describe your experience, mostly focusing on the preparation stage? And were you always a good orator, or did you take any special efforts to train yourself to be one?
Right. So basically, I shall attempt to answer this question in a twofold manner, right? First is how was my experience with regards to the mood, and then had I been a good orator or something, as you say. So proceeding with the first part of the answer, it's like experience was indeed a very enriching one because, we were allotted a moot of insolvency and we opted for a moot of insolvency law in the initial year, in the inception of our third year. At that point of time, wherein we never had studied any finance subject pertaining to finance laws and all. So law, we were completely clueless about, and my team entirely was clueless as to what law is and how IBC operates. But after a point of time, after the preparation we started, we eventually realized that we will be able to do this moot. And when I should be, I should share this because what happened was that we were really unwilling to do the particular moot. So we were allotted to moot just 25 days before the competition, and from our institute. So it happened that we had a watertight timeline of 10 days to submit the memorial out there. So the team was really unwilling because they were like, the subject is very new to us. We don't know anything about the subject. We haven't studied it. So how are we going to take this challenge, and how are we going to prepare the memorial in the limited span of time, 10 days that we have? But I, on the other hand, was pushing them that let's just because there doesn't exist any other activity that we are going to do in this limited span of 25 days, which will be more enriching than doing and then doing this moot court. And if at all, if we had by fortune, if we if we had the citation of being quarter finalist or semi finalist, we will be very satisfied with our performance. So we started preparing it, and in the limited time of 10 days for the memorial preparation, our first job was to understand the proposition as to what proposition was trying to demand from the participants out there. So in the initial days, we just explored and we dwelled into the proposition. We discussed the proposition amongst ourselves, and then we started drafting and researching simultaneously. And it happened that we were so involved in the proposition, limited time of 9 days for the memory preparation, that it eventually turned out that those fictional entities out there, I assume that those were my clients out there, right? So it happened that those entities, we basically were living the proposition for those 10 days, right? So that was the part regarding the preparation regarding the memorial aspect. Second was the preparation regarding orals, and preparation for oral rounds was certainly not very much challenging for us because we as a team were comprising of experienced speakers. Like, so one of my fellow speakers was the one who had done a moot on taxation, and I obviously did Stetson, so there was not a problem with regards to proceeding with the speaker aspect. But eventually, like I said, that in those 10 days we were so involved in the proposition, and law appeared to be very much interesting out there. So what happened basically was that we had conviction with regards to all the arguments that we prepared. So while we were preparing, we gave rounds to externals, to our alumni, and there had been cases wherein there was four grilling for 4 straight hours and stuff like that. So it was indeed challenging, but it indeed was very enriching. So conviction and involvement into the proposition and involvement into the law was basically the things that helped us achieve the whatever the experience that we have gained. Furthermore, it's like I'm known, and my friends always comment that you are known for having a calm and confident approach about the proposition and about about arguing when it comes to public speaking, etc. So that was a special quality that I would like to highlight. But coming on to the second question, that had it been the case ever since, so my answer and my responses to that is obviously a no, because I was never that kind of a kid who is winning all the public speaking competitions since inception and had been that debating kid or the cool MUN kid. I'm not that sort of a person. I did my first MUN in class 9, and eventually it turned out that after in my when I completed my schooling, I had an experience of around 10 MUNs, but MUNs were fine. They basically provided to me some amount of public speaking confidence. When I entered college, I received a great amount of validation with regards to my public speaking journey all through the school. So in my college, I participated in the 2 flagship competitions that they organized for the first year, which is the Learners Moot and the Learners Debate. So in Learners Moot, we were the semi-finalist, and in learners debate, I was amongst the top 8 debaters out there in the entire first year. So at that point of time, I certainly realized that my school life was not it was not similar to as it has been with others, right? There was something that I had an edge and I was good at. So I received a great amount of validation when I entered college, but especially with regards to mooting, there has been a great amount of learning I had derived from the long preparation for Stetson International or Moot Court competition that we did, wherein I was performing the job of being a speaker. So we had 3 months to prepare for oral rounds, and then therein a lot much amount of or a great amount of learning for this entire mood thing has happened. Now coming to the point of special effort, so it can be taken as a tip for by other students as well. Something which helped me a lot was witnessing live proceedings out there. So in my internship, and I personally follow Gujarat proceedings that are happening in the Gujarat High Court. So I randomly go to Google, go to YouTube and just see senior advocates arguing, and I analyze the way they argue. So that was something that helped me a lot, because in my approach towards the moot court competition, I was very transparent with the judges. I never presented my case that this judgment is against me, so I won't show it, or I will hide some facts from the judges and etc. Right? So this was the case out there. What we did, like major part of learning and a special part of learning was with regards to witnessing these live proceedings, like witnessing senior advocates arguing and all that. So yeah, this has been the backstage story behind the best speaker award, as you say. So this has been certainly the backstage story about it.
Right. Wonderful story, I must say. So moving on to the next question, again about mooting. So since you have also been a part of the team in the international competition, how different an experience would you say it is, and what different approach do you have to apply?
Yeah, so when it comes to international competition, there obviously is a difference between a national competition and an international competition, right? And personally, I feel that whenever you are approaching for any competition, even if it's a moot, so let's just assume that there is a moot which is pertaining to constitutional law, and there is which is a national moot, obviously, and there exists another national moot which pertains to finance law. So approach that a team is going to take on the approach a participant is supposed to take is certainly going to be very different with regards to the two domains of the competition, right? So finance law operate in a more different manner, like, and it's not the case that they have so much amount of academic uh, material available out there. So approach with regards to each and every competition, especially with regards to moot court competition, is supposed to be different. There cannot be a straight jacket formula, which will fit in all cases. And I could say that, this is the singular approach that you should take, and this will fit in all the cases out there. With regards to the difference that exists between a national moot and an international moot, I must say that the biggest difference which is there is with regards to the time that a participant has. So, for example, Stetson was in February, and we were allotted the moot in the month of September. So we had fairly 5 months to prepare for the moot, right? And when it comes to this national moot on insolvency, we only had a time of 25 days. So in those 5 months, there are pros and cons attached to it, and per person can have its own approach as to how one should approach the proposition and the moot. So basically, in our case, it was that we had 5 months. So the initial 15-20 days were basically to get a greater understanding, or to clear our basics about the subject of public international law, and understanding the subject in great depth. The second part of it was certainly about having brainstorming session amongst ourselves as to what the approach should be taken. So since you have a lot much amount of time in your hand, you can channelize it into each and every aspect of it. But there is a con attached to it, which is basically that you are dealing with the same proposition and same law for the span of 5 months. So there is obviously going to be a case that some amount at some point in time saturation point is going to come, and you will be like, I'm done with this mood. I don't want to take it forward. I want it to get over. So that is precisely the emotion which exists out there. So approach can be very different, and experience obviously is very different, because in an international competition your mindset is different, because you are not there to compete with the national teams only, you will be competing with the international teams. So especially when you are preparing the memorial and you are doing the initial part of the moot court competition, you obviously are with a viewpoint that this memorial, if at all it qualifies, or if at all the team qualifies for the world round, this has to be of a quality that it will serve our purpose of performing the best we could in the international or in the world rounds as well. So approach is different, and obviously the experience that you get from an international moot is certainly different from the national one, because of obviously the time and subject matter difference. So yeah.
Right. So, can you tell one good and one bad experience from your internship journey so far, and what was your takeaway from it?
Internships, I'll be very honest at this moment, at this juncture, because I see my friends doing internship at big firms like Khaitan, Jaitley and stuff like that, and I haven't basically done any internship at a firm as of yet, for the simple reason that I feel that I certainly have an inclination towards litigation. So it's pointless for me to actually go and intern at a firm, right? With regards to internship, I personally believe that the best place to learn in an internship is not the office of a senior advocate, but it's certainly the one who is in the initial years of one's practice. Say, for example, some senior of yours who graduated somewhere around 4 or 5 years back. So, and whom probably is getting some amount of, is performing good in the field. So that should be the approach with regards to internship. And the good thing that I have learned all the way, all through my internship um, has certainly been that I have been able to explore my interest into a particular subject. Say, for example, when I was doing an internship at Madhya Pradesh High Court at the Indore bench, I was dealing with the criminal matters, and in that limited span of 1 month, I was able to realize that criminal law is not my thing. I'm not certainly interested into criminal law. Then same when I was doing an internship for taxation, when I did the tax litigation internship, it appeared to me that tax is something which is challenging and interesting at the same point of time, and it is something that that can be that I can opt as a career option, or maybe I just wish to explore it more. So internship, the best advantage an internship certainly can offer is with regards to the fact that you get the opportunity to explore a subject within a very less period of time. So I'll say what one of the senior advocate told me when I was applying for the internship. So he said basically that the purpose of internship is not that you learn the law, because you cannot learn the law. You cannot learn the entire taxation regime, how it functions in India within a span of 1 month, right? But basically, you can understand whether I am the person who will be fine working with that in that particular area of law, right? So, and it's also the other way around. It's not the case that I chose taxation. Taxation was appealing to me, and I just tick mark that taxation is something that I'm going to work. It's the other way around. It's crossing out. So taxation, no, I didn't like it. IBC, no, I didn't like it. So that's the approach that should be taken while going for internship. So that this is one good thing about internship. Um, Coming to the bad things and allied stuff that are associated with internships, I personally believe that, and it's a very generalized thing. I mean, people would have witnessed this a lot these days. What happens is that there exists a jag culture out there. So there's some brother of mine who is working in a big or a tier one law firm. So I obviously have a route to that particular law firm, and this obviously is detrimental to the people who are continuously sending out their applications that please consider me for internship and all that. And there's just one person who has this brother working out there, brother working in the firm, and then you just apply, and it's a easy route for him and not for me. While in reality, it might be the case that the person who is actually sending out the emails is the deserving one. So that is the generalized bad thing about internships. Coming on to specifics, it might be the case that even if you are working in a small office or a boutique law firm, the thing it might happen that you might not get the requisite amount of work that you want to do, right? It has been recently, one of my friend was interning at a good law firm out there. So it happened that he was very willing to work and he had a great amount of knowledge with regards to the subject matter concerned. But people out there were not willing to give him the work that he was asking for. He was continuously asking that, give me some work, give me some work. But they were really unwilling to do it because they thought that he's an intern, he probably does not know how to work and all that. So they never provided him with the opportunity to explore. So at that point of time, certainly many a times, out things which are not in your control or probably by virtue of the uh, attitude of the seniors you are interning with, maybe your internship experience can get ruined out there. So this certainly is what I would think of a bad thing about an internship. But more so, internships are a very enriching experience, and as far as the case has been with me. So yeah.
Right. So law students end up confused owing to the numerous options available regarding mentorship or any other external help beyond the law school. So how important do you think it is in terms of organized and optimum paced career, since law school cannot focus on every student's growth particularly?
Right. Basically, more so, it's a known fact that guidance is a very essential part of your personality development. I to give a very simple example, so when we were preparing for our learners moot, it was the case that we were not aware as to what mooting is, right? We just entered our law school and we were given the task of appearing and probably like participating in a moot court competition and something about and into an activity which we probably did not have any idea about, right? Therein the problem basically is that you are completely unguided. When you are completely unguided, you are randomly approaching a particular thing. Your efforts basically are getting wasted. So if I'm to put it in that manner, you are actually working hard, but it might be the case that you are not working smartly, right? So correct mentorship and external aid therein plays a very important role because you need someone out there to guide you, right? And it's not the case with regards to mooting only, but because I personally believe that law is a subject uh, wherein in each and every aspect of your law school journey, you require some amount of external help. Say, for example, I just wish to secure an internship at a particular firm or maybe at an advocate's office. I'll be requiring some amount of external help because people out there are very busy. They might not read my emails. They might not consider me, or probably it might be the case. So I need some amount of help in each and every aspect of my law school journey. So a good thing with established law schools is that you have seniors, you have alumni who are working out there. So personally, it has been the case that all the internships that I have done, I had one or two alumni out there who are working and who were from Nirma, right? So that was the case because that helped me a lot. But in specifically when it comes to colleges, like small colleges wherein people don't have uh, an alumni network of that sort, it is very tough job out there for you to find contacts and find the requisite mentors who are going to help you. So in that case, external help is very important and plays a very important role because you basically need someone to guide you and to tell you that yes, you are going in the correct direction, or maybe no, you are not going in the correct direction. You should approach in this manner or the other manner, because ultimately without guidance you will randomly be doing some stuff out there and you might not get the desired outcome. So obviously guidance is an indispensable part of a law school journey, if I may say so. So yeah.
Right. So there's always two groups of students. One who believes that it is important to get good grades and totally relies on these things, and the other who totally relies on the internships and other experiences, which can be competitions in your case. So which
Yeah.
approach do you think is the ideal one, or which one should you go for or you should follow?
I personally am the one who hates the first approach because I'm not that guy who is who will score a 10 on 10 CGPA and would not do anything else out there. Ultimately, I personally believe that Law is not a subject which is academic, which is not a subject wherein you are supposed to have good grades out there, right? So if I'm to give an example, basically it's like a 10 on 10 CGPA in semester second would indicate that, or maybe in semester one would indicate that I know law of torts better than anyone else out there in my college, and I know the law of contracts better than anyone else out there in my college, right? But at the same point of time, a person who has an experience in internship and mooting basically knows what the practical, how law operates in the practical world, right? And that is something which matters a lot. Academics, law of torts, law of contracts might not be relevant for me when I actually go for practice, right? To an extent, this does not mean that I'm denying the importance of these subjects as being the foundation for a particular for any practice or for any, any professional engagement out there. Um, this does not, obviously, like when I'm going to start my practice as a NCLT lawyer, I obviously am supposed to have some amount of knowledge of CPC, contract law, taxation, etc. But this does not mean that I have to master all those subjects, and I should purely be limited to academics, right? In an event, if I'm purely limited to academics and if I haven't explored what I genuinely wish to do at the end of my 5 years, I am at the same level as I entered it, because ultimately I never figured out what my interest area was. And to be honest, there exists a difference, because subjects that you are taught in academics and the academic approach is very different from the practical approach. So academically, I might think that I like taxation, but when it comes to practice, taxation can be very different from what it was when it comes to, when it was, or how it appeared in the academic, or how it appeared in the bookish domain. So at that point of time, there has to be a balance that has to be strike down between the two aspects. So good grades, obviously, a decent CGPA of 8.5, 8.6, or maybe 8 would do, with having a good experience or in mooting or maybe in internships, etc. So yeah, that is all about.
Right. So,
Yeah.
what plans do you have for the remainder of your law school journey?
For the 2.5 years that remains, firstly, I genuinely wish to write something out there, because I have explored myself as a mooter and a public speaker, and to an extent, I have explored a great deal of subjects when it comes to internship. But personally, I haven't tried writing, or I never have attempted, writing a research paper or a research article out there. And the reason therein is very simple, because I personally believe that it's not good practice, to just summarize a case law, or maybe a case, or to provide, or to write a case summary and to label it as a research paper. The reason why I'm not into academic writing or writing research paper is because that I don't have any genuine idea as of now that this is something which I really wish to write about, right? Or this is something that is my own thought and I just wish to explore it more. So I'm in a process of looking for some genuine thought of mine which I can, proceed to translate into an academic writing or to translate into a research paper. So first thing, obviously, I wish to try my hands on writing a research paper. And secondly is obviously the case that I wish to do more internships, because my internships are been based in Ahmedabad only. I just wish to explore how the work culture is at Mumbai and at Delhi and other cities like that. So to approach, like, first obviously as to write a research paper and to do some academic writing, and second obviously is to do more better and do good, continue with the good internships, etc. aspect. Yeah.
Right. So that was a very, very insightful session. Thank you so much for taking out time and sharing your inputs. We hope our audience will definitely benefit immensely from your experience. I wish you all the best on behalf of YLCC for your bright future ahead. Thank you once again.
Thank you so much. It was indeed a matter of great honor and pleasure to interact with you. Thank you so much.